Back in the workshop again this morning, turning my attention to the Simba SL. So we've got, as I mentioned in a previous video, a bit of an issue at the minute with the hard ground and some of the legs breaking. Here's a broken one where he managed to find the broken off piece. They tend to snap around that hole. So I have got some weld-on pieces to strengthen that area. So I'm going to go around all the legs which haven't got the extra support on. Some of them have already got bits welded on them. Like this one. This one looks like it's machined wide around that bit from factory. This is another one with a different shaped weld-on support on it. So I've got a bag of these. I'm going to go around basically all the legs which haven't got any extra support on them, weld one of these on each side, and then we've got three spare legs here. I'll do them as well. So basically on there like that, weld around, and hopefully that'll strengthen it up enough to not snap. There's not many left on here which haven't got support on them, so she should be a little bit more snap proof after that. And then there's a couple of cracks in the frame. They need sorting out. I've had this old girl on the farm since 2008, so she's done a few acres for us, and yeah, you have to keep an eye on cracks do appear in the frame every now and again, but we've got one here which is obviously an area which takes a bit of stress because it's been reinforced before and it's cracking through the reinforced bit of plate. So I'll grind that down, grind a nice valley into it, get a good bit of weld in there, and then just keep an eye on it. There's another bit round here. I think this was a bit that was plated up first. That's also got the same issue, but a bit of a smaller crack appearing. So again, I'll just grind that out, give it a bit of weld, and should go back to work. We're still subsoiling at the minute, so got a bit of time to play with this before we'll be going back on the tractor. The demo should be getting picked up as well today when we were back in the yard with the subsoiler yesterday. It was a good time to swap that background. Stuck the subsoiler back on the T8. Demo will be getting picked up at some point today, and then we'll have a little run through on how we got on with that, I think. Well, there's one side. Welder kept tripping out then, and I realised I put it on the highest setting. Instead of flicking it round to one lower, I flicked it round to one higher, and there's obviously an awful lot of amps coming through. It's on a setting that we'd never really use for anything, but there we go. There's one on. 16 more to go, or 15 more to go. I'm doing a little experiment here. This is the tine that had the snapped end on it, and the end was snapped quite cleanly, so I've managed to weld it back up fairly well and weld the supports on. Snapped in that hole there. I'll be interested to see if that holds up or not. Worth a punt, isn't it? I've got enough of these plates, so why not? Got a selection of different tines here. Some are having the plates welded on, and some of them I'm going to run a bit of weld where the plates have only been spot welded on. So that one, nothing there. This one's got a plate on it, but with only spot weld, so I'm going to run a bit of weld there and there. Mainly because we've had a few of these reinforced ones break, and I'd be interested just to see if it is stronger to weld it all the way across. I can't see why it wouldn't be really, because I don't think it will weaken it, but only one way to find out. So here we go, we've jumped forwards a day or two. I finished welding these up Friday, so I've got a nice pile of welded up legs to put back on. Then yesterday, I spent the day out with the missus. She's an August baby, so doesn't often get to do anything with me for her birthday, but due to the early harvest this year, gave me a bit of time to plan something, so we went and had a nice Saturday out. Spent the night away, not too far away. And now we're back in here. 3 jobs on today. Get these tines back on. Then the Simba is ready to go again. Number 2, watch the F1, because that is back after the summer break. It'll probably be rubbish, but doesn't stop me watching it, does it? And number 3, I have got a load of Bamford I need to get on wheels for the seed dresser tomorrow. So we'll get that loaded up and see if we can get another empty trailer hooked up to take the tailings out. So that's all ready for the morning. Get a little bit of primer on these. There we go. Could do with some Simba orange being made up really. I've got a can of some sort of Fiat orange which I have just painted on it before. There's a bit. About as good as I can get at the minute. No idea what we had that was a Fiat orange, but doesn't stand out too bad. Just got to go around them all with the impact gun and do the holder bolts back up, because when I welded the first one I realised that just in there's a little rubber piece that sits in the hole, and it wasn't liking the heat of the welder very much, so I had to just loosen them all off and create a bit of a gap before I welded the rest. Gave a couple of these a little bulk up as well while they were off. Should keep it going a little bit longer hopefully. Right, I reckon we do this one the quick way. There we go, that's much more efficient, isn't it? Right, she's basically ready to go. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that don't start snapping tines again in the first half an hour of work. I'm fairly confident with the subsoiler running ahead and with all the tines beefed up in the area that they usually break, we should have a fairly good chance. There we go, a little bit of Fiat orange to finish off. Stop the old go going rusty. I had to get a little bit creative on the paintbrush situation, because it would appear that there aren't really any in here in a usable condition, so I made one out of some blue roll. Always remember, It's not stupid if it works, is it? Well, that's 2 out of 3 jobs completed. That race was a little bit better than I was expecting, I think. Mainly just due to the fact that there was a lot of incidents, which made what would have been an otherwise very boring race a little bit better. I might load the lorry with the Macro actually, if the batteries have taken enough charge to fire it up. I don't know what that will go like, it's been sat here a little while. I know it's got a very, very sticky throttle cable that needs sorting out. Other than that, everything else worked when it was put away, so let's give it a go. Go on then. Well, they've both fired up, so that's good. I have just remembered though why I can't use the Macro. It's got a hydraulic pipe that needs sorting out, which I had forgot about. It is leaking on the pipe that does the auxiliary, which tips the toe tip bucket forwards. Basically this bit of metal pipe here just needs replacing. I'd probably just replace that with a rubber bit really, with a 90° on it. And then she can be a backup machine again. Have a little play with it over the winter actually, try and tidy it up a bit more, because I do like the old thing. Pretty cool little old loading shovel. I don't think there's many of those about whatsoever. I think mainly Macro, you only really see the telehandlers. Not many of the loading shovels. I'm just going to see if I can finish this little bit of flailing around the top edge of the reservoir. Then I can go and run this tractor back to the other farmyard, get the telehandler down here, which is where I need to load the wheat, and get that trailer loaded up ready for the morning. I made it. Gonna have one more little tickle along the other side and I'll call that it. That'll do. That's tidied it up as closely as I can sensibly get it without getting too close to the edge or getting something caught in the flail or something silly like that. This guy again. The old keep fit door. I reckon I can wiggle this trailer across. So I've only got to take one in and out, which will save me a bit of hassle next time I'm loading out of here as well. I'm going to use you as a reversing camera. This is the nearest I need to get to driving a lorry these days. Using it as a yard shunter to stick a load of wheat on. That's enough, isn't it? That's enough. Must be weighing fairly well. Set the load beeper off without any of the boom extended. I probably ought to pull the sheet over. You know, if I don't, we'll probably get an inch of rain through the night, don't you? Well, that's everything ready for the morning anyway, so get some seed dress tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get a chance to take you for a little video tour around the seed dressing machine. See how that process works. Right, that'll do me for today. If you're enjoying the videos, as always, give us a little like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.